What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and I have to say that this whole Bud Light situation has been a very eye-opening situation. Not only for me, but I believe for a lot of other people out there as well. For one, this shows that when perfectly rational people get together and express their concerns and opinions and speak with their wallets, it can be effective. What's been going on for way too long in this country and in this society is that perfectly rational people have sat back and we've allowed the most disgusting, the most vile, the loudest, craziest people in our society to scream the loudest. And as perfectly rational people, we want to sit back and let other people do what they want. When it comes to the Bud Light situation, when it comes to Dylan Mulvaney, when it comes to all of this weird stuff, perfectly rational people sit back and don't even voice their opinions. But when you do that, you allow the craziest people who scream the loudest to control our culture, to control our society, and they're able to steer our society in very weird directions simply because no one is fighting back. No one's taking a stand. No one is saying anything. So finally, after years of voicing my opinions and making sure that we try to get sane people heard still, that I try to make sure, I'm not the type of person that really feels like having to voice my opinion when it comes to a lot of these stories, but I almost feel like I am forced to because everyone else is afraid to do so. So we need more voices of reason. And this Bud Light story, it's like finally it woke some people up who I guess have just been drinking beer and throwing darts and hunting or doing whatever they've been doing, and they haven't been paying attention to how our culture and our society has been completely taken over. So finally, beer was the last straw for a lot of these people. But then you look at certain voices, certain prominent voices out there telling people, hey, please stop the boycott. It's not good because they donate money to Republicans and they do this. And that's another eye-opening moment, I hope, for everyone. It didn't surprise me, but I hope that it was surprising to some to see the very people that they support, who they think they are on the same side with, try to tell them, stop the boycott. Please go buy Bud Light. Just please do it. They donate money to us. And it shows what I've been trying to tell people for a long time. We are sold the idea of a two-party system. We are sold the idea that there is this crazy group of people pushing these crazy things and that we have another political party that is fighting back, when in reality there is no fighting back. They're not fighting back. If they were fighting back, would they tell you all to, hey, please just go buy Bud Light. Don't participate in this boycott. Cowards. Cowards. That's what I call them. But like I said, I hope it's eye-opening to people. So you have to realize that when it's us against them, a lot of the people who you think are on your side are not. They are controlled opposition. They are here to sell you the idea that there is pushback to the various things that you are pushing back against. They are here to make you feel a little more comfortable, when in reality they're not on your side. Most of them are on the side of money. And there's big money to be made when you're promoting a lot of this weird nonsense in today's world, because pharmaceutical companies, various other organizations are behind pushing these agendas and pushing these ideologies. But as you see these big figures call for an end to Bud Light boycotts, we're watching everyday middle-class working people, small business owners, people who own bars and restaurants. They are pulling Bud Light from their menu. They are no longer stocking up on Bud Light. And that's the type of things I like to see. Because those are the people who mean the most. Those are the people who are going to make the biggest difference. We have to realize that none of these people in Washington, none of them really represent us. Okay? I think it's safe to say that at this point. None of us really have a representation when it comes to Washington. And you could pick out your finest politicians. I can tell you right now, I don't really think they represent my values that well. And I'm not a person that's really political. I don't have to get down with everything that one political party promotes. But what I do promote is the freedom of speech, the freedom of kids just having the freedom to be kids. But obviously that's no longer allowed in this country. But I'm telling you right now, if rational people get together, and when I say get together, I don't mean we have to go march in the streets. I mean get together, start expressing yourself. Let your voice and your opinions be heard. Speak up against the irrational, stupid, idiotic stuff we are seeing happen in today's society, and maybe we could turn this thing around. Bud Light is just the first step. But if people can't effectively stop drinking Bud Light in order to protect future generations of kids, then what can they do? We live in a society of soft people who aren't willing to give up basic, everyday, little things like Bud Light in order to send a message. But if people could set Bud Light aside, if you could set whatever aside, then I think that rational people could become the most effective group of people in this nation. Because we're not fighting and we're not arguing we're not here spreading nonsensical things. Perfectly rational people, all we want is for them to stop pushing their agenda down our throats and to stop targeting our kids. We are on the right side here. We are not on the side that is saying men get pregnant and have periods and all of this nonsensical stuff. So this is a very easy fight to win. That's the crazy part. If rational people speak up, we would easily win this cultural battle that we're going through. But rational people are so scared to say anything. We have a small fringe minority group of radicalized weirdos who are promoting all of this weird nonsense stuff. They have nothing to back their arguments. In fact, the science goes against everything they say. Studies go against everything they say. This stuff could be squashed if regular people just spoke up. So if I were you, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Boycotting Bud Light, I don't drink Bud Light anyway. But if I were you, I would pick a different beer. And if I were you, I would watch closely to how other people are responding to this. Because when you see people calling for an end to the boycott because of donations, it shows you they aren't really on your side. They could be bought and paid for. So, if you take anything away from this video, take away the fact that it's time for you to say something. All of you. When you see this weird stuff going on around you, it's time for you to speak up. If you want this stuff to end, you have to say something. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know some of what you have to say down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And remember, always remain opinionated.